Hey everybody, it's the Toy Duo Team. We're back again this week to talk about action figures and much, much more. Roll the music.
Addiction and your shelves are overflowing.
Hold tight.
When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back, just relax and watch you listen. The Toy Duo Team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle.
I love it when a plan comes together. What?
On your shelf.
Oh, it's the Toy Duo Team. We're going to have the week's rewind of action figure news. We're going to have TV and movie streaming talk. And there was so much to talk about. I'm laughing because I don't necessarily believe it.
I was going to say, what did I miss?
I was like dragging the bottom of the barrel to like find reveals and stuff like that. How you guys doing this week?
Doing all right.
Hanging
in there.
Yeah. I did not believe anybody's response.
Well, I am just hanging in there. Work's kicking my ass right now, so it's just good to relax for a change.
Is that one of those magnetic shoulder dudes?
Yeah.
I remember when we went to Disney, my granddaughter wanted the Ratatouille one.
Yeah.
So we got her that one, yeah.
I have the Yoda one.
That's pretty cool.
Actually, I think I was with Chris and my brother. I don't know. There was a couple of us there when I walked in and they had the Yoda one. And I'm in the middle of the store and they had it up by the register. And whoever it was that was with us just yelled out, "John, shoulder Yoda!" And I'm like, the whole place just looks. And the lady at the register is like, "We got it right up here, shoulder Yoda." And I was like, beelining it, like, that's for me.
I need that shoulder.
Speaking of that, do you think someone's gonna make a backpack of Grogu like hanging off your like shoulder, in the Mandalorian and Grogu?
Yeah, right. They will.
Oh, that would be great, right?
It's like a shoulder sling kind of backpack where
This is what they should do, Eric. They should make a backpack. The jetpack looking backpack, and then he's sticking off the jetpack.
That 100% needs to be a product.
And that missile could stick up, could be a poster tube.
Or an umbrella.
There could be a slot to put like a poster tube where like a missile would be or something. That would be the perfect convention backpack.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We should be in merchandising for Disney.
I'm telling you. Well, I don't think I publicly said my idea for the fireplace thing. I think I just told you guys. Yeah. Should I say it here?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe somebody will do it. So I got the idea around Christmas time because you know how everybody plays like the Yule log on their TV. YouTube has the Yule log. Well, there's one like 6, 7, 8 hour Yule log of Darth Vader burning in the fire. But you know, a lot of people have these gas fireplaces in their homes where you just push a button and it ignites. But I have never seen the logs with like a Darth Vader laying on top of the logs, which I think would be hilarious to have that insert in your gas fireplace. You just push a button and then you got Darth Vader burning on the logs.
Or a riff on that is if you want to do it in your backyard and have a full funeral fire pit.
That would be cool. Well, yeah, you can then transition that to like some sort of a fire pit thing where it's just sitting there. You know those tables, right, Eric? Like the table
you just wouldn't be able to see people on the other side, unfortunately. So,
well, you've seen those tables low, and then you can put your cups on them, but you can have like there's usually glass sprinkled in, and the fire comes through the glass. They could put something and make it look like logs with like Darth Vader on there. I think it would be really.
But it would have to be high up enough to look like it was in the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're just using it for.
If I had stupid money, I would do that. That's 100% something I would do.
So I was looking at the materials that they use for making those fireplace logs, thinking, can I make one of these myself? Because it's not just metal, it's some sort of like ceramic type material or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it seems like you should be able to mold something, you know, to look. And because I keep thinking like, maybe I'll just make one and I'll add it to my my existing fireplace. But I don't know. I'm not a merchandiser, so I don't know how all that stuff goes.
Yeah.
You think Disney would give me a license to do it?
No.
Because can you imagine how elaborate you could make like a hill, like logs kind of going up like a hill, and you can have like Vader dragging himself and he's half on fire, and then you got like Obi-Wan Kenobi standing at the top. And then the sabers are so thin that when the heat's going, they start glowing, like the lightsaber glow. Gets that metal hot.
Oh, you were thinking Mustafar.
You could do a whole line of Star Wars things, right?
I was thinking the Ewok, like after Return of the Jedi,
the full funeral pyre. Yeah.
You can have like an AT-AT crash burning like in your fireplace, so you could choose whichever Star Wars fireplace logs you want.
Yeah.
That's not dark.
All right, let's say hi to some people. We got Paul Morales, 1976 is here. 60 pick 77. Gary Skrills has joined us, and I'm sure we got the usual suspects hiding out in there. Let's see if everybody jumps into the chat at some point. Anyways, let's get into some toy talk. So this is the Toy Duo team, like we said earlier. It's episode 145, you guys. It's crazy.
Wow.
145. We're going to do the weekly rewind at the end, but I thought we'd do a little toy talking at the beginning because this has been making the rounds this week. Target is going to shift away from being the everything bagel, and I mean the store, and they're going to have a new strategy, which is going to be focusing on specific things to win customers back. And they said what they're going to do is they're going to bet on baby stuff and groceries to get its groove. So we're looking at like peanut PB&Js because those were popular in the 70s. I guess that's why they did it was groove, right? Groovy. But the CEO said that the renovations are going to be through its Fun 101 initiative, which was introduced last year to transform categories like electronics, toys, and sporting goods to have more cultural relevance and make them more immersive for shoppers.
So what are they getting rid of if they're not going to be an everything store?
Electronics, sporting goods. Yeah.
Well, they already have. You know,
toys.
Mine doesn't carry DVD or used to have Blu-rays new release at least.
Yeah.
The videos have gone. CDs are gone for sure. They have records though in my store.
LPs, yeah,
records.
And then the little book section, they got rid of like the books and magazines, but they do have like a little book stack in the little Disney store in one of the stores. So not all the stores have like a little book area, but in my area, but one of them definitely does. But it's part of that Disney store.
I never liked their fan shops.
This doesn't tell us anything.
Okay, so it says that they plan to cut the number of home products it sells in half. So, you know, a while back they were really selling their home stuff like shelves. They have that
I never see anyone.
I will tell you, these right here are not Billy bookshelves from IKEA. These ones are the Target shelves. Okay, like those on that side are the Billy bookshelves. These ones are the ones from Target, and I'll tell you why these ones are the ones from Target. They're not as long as the Billies, right? Let me just make my screen
wide. You mean wide?
They're not as like wide, so I was able to fit more shelves. If I had used the Billies, I would have ended here, like
with a gap. You'd have a gap
right here. And I would have had too much room over there to the door.
Yeah.
So I was able to get like 4 of them in here. And I feel like the spacing was a little bit better. Plus, these were super cheap.
Yeah.
Where the Billy's like almost like
I got them
from or something. I got
similar ones from Amazon. They're slightly less wide than a bulk Billy, and those are what I use at the house.
Yeah, these were like 40 bucks
a
piece, right? So I was able to do this whole wall here for $120, where those 2 Billies were like 150
on their own,
like that. So for same price, double the shelving. So is this what they mean? They're going to get rid of this? Because, you know, they do that college dorm room, fix up your college dorm room, whatever.
It depends. Those things tend to only pop up in college towns. Not all Targets get those like the same kind of college stuff I guarantee that. But
I see.
I don't know how other people are, but I've never been impressed with their like fan shop section in the middle of the store. The merchandise is usually kind of cheap, and maybe I'm elitist with this, but I usually go for like the officially licensed, like if it's like NFL, I want the Nike stuff.
So here's my
So on and
problem
so forth.
with the fan shop,
Like the real jersey.
Eric.
Right.
So like in my Target, if I go to the fan shop, I'm stuck looking for like San Diego State University or the Padres or even the Chargers, who ditched San Diego for LA.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to do is like,
do people still like the Chargers there?
Yeah, they're still a hometown team, kind of, right?
Yeah.
But like me, I can't go in there and get like, say, a Buffalo Bills hat. Right?
Yeah.
So I got to order that online anyway. So
they have a buttload. That's the thing. Our Target has a buttload of Gators stuff for the Florida Gators, but you can't even buy you can't even get like the Jacksonville Jaguars stuff at our local stores. It's all Gators stuff. And
really?
It's like,
I would have figured over by you it'd be more like Miami University.
Yeah,
or University of Miami, and
you think there'd be Miami Dolphins, but no.
Yeah,
see, I think what happens is
stuff.
This is what I think. See, I think the strategy here is that they don't want shelves to look empty. This isn't a strategy of making Target better. This is a strategy of making the shelves look full. So what they do is when that display gets made, it might have a couple hats for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Miami Dolphins, but those get bought the first day. They're all sold out. So then they fill the entire thing with Gators merchandise because that's what they have a billion of that no one's buying. So in the toy section, they're going to bring in hats and T-shirts and stuff because they don't want the empty pegs like we find every time we walk through the toy section. They're going to fill all those empty pegs with hats and T-shirts and stuff.
So I did read some of the articles, and they're saying that like they're going to build new stores. They're going to redesign existing ones. So I know that like in my area, they actually have pushed walls, right, to get rid of like the lawn and garden section, pushed a wall out to expand the interior of the store. So it seems like if they're really going to be doing this thing where they're going to be focusing on, you know, what they're talking about is focuses on toys, gaming, music, collectibles, and sporting goods, infusing these categories with trend-led designs, pop culture relevance, and exclusive assortment to reignite guest excitement, right? So if you're really you know, you're going to be like, oh, it's like the G.I. Joe classifieds. Does that mean only the Target exclusive ones are going to be available in store? Are they only going to do the Target exclusives and maybe the retro carded? You know, the ones that are retro carded, but not like the ones in the regular boxes. These new Black Series, only that first wave of white boxes will be in the stores in the future, but regular boxes they won't even bother with. So they're saying it's not a simple reset, but it's a reinvention of hardiness. So it's prioritizing only at Target differentiation, faster trend response, and stronger storytelling, allowing them to compete because they don't want to be competing with Walmart, it seems like, anymore. They want to be more of a niche, right? Like you just jump in. And I will tell you that there's a couple of these like little mini Targets in my area where they're very scaled down. I don't even go in there because I know they just don't have anything that I'm interested in. I mean, if I lived in the neighborhood and I was like, oh, I got to go get some milk, that Target's the last place I'm going to go for milk because it's right next to like Ralph's. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm going to go for my groceries because I believe that Ralph's is probably going to keep their refrigerator at the right temperature, that type of stuff.
I really just think they're just talking a bunch of nonsense in those paragraphs, and it doesn't make any sense what they're just saying things to fill a paragraph. And really all they mean is they're going to have T-shirts and hats in the toy section because they don't want the aisles to look empty when you walk in the store. That's all I think it's going to be. They're going to carry the same. They're going to carry the same merchandise we've always seen. It's just that because it all sells out so fast, because they only get one case of like vintage collection, let's say, So when one person walks in and buys one each of the TVC figures, nobody else can buy them. So instead of having an empty peg, they're going to put hats on it that say Star Wars, or hats that say G.I. Joe. Lunch boxes will be there that say G.I. Joe.
I don't think lunch boxes, because nobody wants a lunch box.
I know, but that's why. Because it'll sit there forever, keeping the aisle looking full.
So what you're saying is they're going to bring back the Empire Strikes Back Lando Calrissian Black Series.
Yes, and leave it on the shelf forever.
Just checking.
Just because they want the aisle here, though, right? Full. They want the aisle
so
to
it
look
does say the less is more impact, extending to sporting goods, toys, and electronics.
I don't know. We'll see.
I just think, because I do film some toy hunts. I know they're not the greatest toy hunts or whatever, but I do make, because Target's in my neighborhood, I do make Target my stop. I'd rather go to Target than Walmart, just because I can actually walk down an aisle without running into like a pallet full of like stuff, right?
Or pooping in the aisle.
No, I've never seen that, but like if I go to Walmart and I'm walking on one side of like the pallets that are lining the aisle and a cart's coming, somebody's going to have to give up the right of way, because there's no way you and a cart are making it through, since they've already thinned the aisle with like a pallet full of merchandise. And so it's like a zigzag approach when you go there. And then at least my Walmart is so weird that it's like the action figures are way back in the toys, and then they have other action figures that are upstairs behind electronics in some cubby, which is just weird because they consider those adult collectibles or something like that. So I got to traverse through like a 2-story building just to get to 2 areas where I want to look.
I don't think I've
supposedly that's part of the plan, because you'll walk by the grocery area and go, "Oh yeah, I need water too, or I need milk."
Yeah,
and that's what they think is going to happen. You know?
Yeah, and at least in my Target, the only 2-story Target that I've been to here locally, the electronics is right across the aisle from the toy department.
Yeah.
So their NECA section is really close to where the regular toys are and stuff like that. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, I think like these toy hunting videos are kind of gonna could potentially like fade away a little bit if you can't. I mean, what are you gonna film?
Yeah, I do. I think that's what I mean. I think the toy section's just gonna fade ever more. Basically, because I think that the CEOs and people in charge walk through a Target and they see all this empty space, and they just are thinking like, I think in their minds they're going, people are not buying toys because look at how empty everything is. You know what I mean? And it's weird because it's like, no, they would keep buying it if you kept them in stock. You're not.
I don't know, John, because
a lot of other toys right now in stock, just not like adult collectibles.
If you go to my Target, right, the one that I filmed at probably 4 times, the same in the past month, the exact same Star Wars Black Series have been on the shelf. It's Luke in the back, right? Then Krennic, and then I think there's like 4 Krennics, a Luke, and there's one other one. It's I can't remember what it is, but it's another not undesirable, right? Like they just made too many of them. I walk around the aisle of the G.I. Joe section, and it's basically retro card back Stalker, retro card back shiny face Cobra Commander, right? Retro card back one of the other ones that's been popping up at Ross. So 3 that I've seen at Ross for $7.99. So nobody's ever going to buy those from that Target at $27.99. And then you look down at the shelf, and there's the pair of divers, the Mass Effect divers, and it's like 12 boxes. Yeah. And the thing's not going anywhere. Those boxes are not leaving the shelf. They've been there every time I've been there.
It's a combination of 2 things. The stuff that Hasbro makes that everybody wants sells out at Target, and Target doesn't own enough of them. But the stuff, unfortunately, that Hasbro's making, they always make a set or 2 or have 3 or 4 figures in the wave that are just like repeats or something nobody wants. So then Target gets a normal amount of those, and they just sit there. You know what I mean? So it seems like it's a combination of 2 different things. And
Right.
maybe the store can't order the hot figures because
Until
they're
they
in the
clear out the
assortment.
other ones.
They're in the assortment with the dull ones. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
like it's really weird because like so I've been finding like Jinx at Ross, that wave, and then I've been finding that those retro card backs at Ross, and then all of a sudden Target has like one of each, and Jinx showed up on the shelf yesterday, and I'm not kidding myself into believing that like they just found that in the back room or received a fresh order. You know what I mean? I feel like somebody returned that without a receipt.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that it's bad in a way when you feel like, oh, this stuff is just coming over from Ross and somebody's quickly making like $10 on the thing in store credit. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a crazy thing. Like as much as Ross is stocked up right now, like I went in there today and it was like Kilnaka, the Moff Gideon and the armor.
See, we
The
don't even have
Mandalorian, the
those
guy
at
with
my
the
Target.
sword, right? Like I'm looking at these figures, and then they had some of the X-Men wave, and then the Into the Spider-Verse figures there, and I'm thinking like, oh, okay, these didn't come from Amazon or something. These came from Target or Walmart, and I'm thinking,
see, I don't.
Target is having to resell this stuff. Does that make them want to continue to buy it in the future?
I don't remember ever seeing like Cal Naka and half the Skeleton Crew. I never saw at our Targets or Walmarts. Like, there's just stuff in South Florida that we just never get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Same over here.
don't understand
like,
it at all. We just never get them.
So Judge Dredge is saying Cali has toys that Texas will never see, and then where you live, no bearing on where I live and what is available yet. See, and that's because they're being resold by the retailers locally, right? And like I can say that like when I saw those pictures of the Psylocke showing up at Target, like fully stocked, 7 on a shelf.
Yeah, I never saw the Psylocke.
Never saw them, but luckily somebody shared the barcode.
Mystique?
I scanned it and it said, "Oh, back in the stock room." Yes. So I asked somebody. They went back there and they came back and they go, "Here you go. There's like 10 of them back there." And I'm like, "Are you guys ever going to put them out?" And they were like, "Well, there's nowhere to put them on the shelves. There's no plano for them." So they sat in the back room, and I went in there like every week for like a month, and they still had them. And then eventually they went on clearance.
Yeah.
And then I had the deal where like I ended up buying like 2 so I can return 1, for the price that I paid, whatever. And then I ended up with mine on clearance. And then the next thing I know, they were gone. You know what I mean? I went back to go get one for somebody and they weren't there anymore. But it's like they never made it up. What?
I wanted that Stalker short fuse 2-pack. Never saw it on the shelves. You guys said everything was on clearance. I looked for it, didn't find it. There's one store that had it that was like 100 miles away. But by the time I got up to the house, nobody had it.
Right.
Mystique was the same way. I never saw her in a store. And then everybody said she was on sale. And again, I can't find her anywhere to buy it online or get it shipped. None of the stores in my area even have her on sale. So it's like we're just not getting these things. And fortunately, like other people in the country or even in the UK have found the Stalker and Short Fuse 2-pack for me. So I got it coming. And they also found Mystique and like those Optimus Prime Hot Wheels. Someone just found them for me in another part of the country, which I've never seen down here in Florida either. So it's like some things we just don't get. And like Ghost said, our raw stores never have any of the stuff I see from the rest of the people. Like you guys.
It's greatly diverse.
That's exactly what Dan said here in his message. He's like, I got 15-pound kettlebells. No, you were talking about a couch, right?
We got a brand new couch, and I was looking. I'd gone to like Value City Furniture, and I was even looking at Amazon, and I was doing my raw stop, and they have like 2 big tables that have like furniture stuff, and I was like, holy cow! It was a perfect match to the couch that we just got. It was one of those nice folding ottomans with the lid, like, I find the little gems on there all the time, but I'm sure that there's other places that you go to a Ross and you'd never see an ottoman or
like so
I
John
didn't even know they sold couches at Ross.
John one year was like, oh, I found these like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where? And he goes, in the book section at Ross. My Ross doesn't have a book section.
Yeah,
there's a stationery area where you can get drawing paper, but no books.
Yeah.
The Ross over by me is so barren with everything. It is just sad to go. I checked it out once just to see if they had any. I think this was around the time when they had like $40 lightsabers, and I was just curious, like what they had, because I'd never been in there. It was sad.
But I had found those.
They had like no toys. Or I think they had a retro Fennec Shand. That was it.
Wow.
Oh man,
that was the only toy they had in the whole store. So
I was lucky enough to get a couple of the Leia lightsabers, but I never found any of those.
Those were the ones I found too.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that I guess it's luck of the draw, right? Like one day I'm just out and I'm like wandering around and I found the GI, the Cobra vehicle. What is it? The
Vamp, the Stinger?
Yeah, it's the Stinger. And I was like, well, I already got it, so I'm not spending $30. But I mean, $30 is a great deal.
But
I have to imagine it's the stores that are close to whatever distribution centers they're buying whatever pallets from, and they just don't ship them that far away from where they buy the product from.
Right. They got to make it worth it. Yeah,
except at Christmas, because like at Christmas
I just don't think they disseminate
good luck finding the
across the country equitably.
Like I always find the like Transformer Titan series stuff, like the things that are like $200 in a normal store are like $40 at my Ross, and I'll find 3 or 4 of them almost. Like last year there was none, but the previous years, like I bought like 3 Trypticons one year, and one year I bought like 3 or 4 Fortress Maximuses because they were only like $30 or $40, and those are normally $200 Transformers.
And look, there was a guy on Instagram. He supposedly did a bunch of research and was talking about these like discount figures and stuff like that. And he stated a bunch of things that he considered facts related to the figures. Let me see if I can find it, because
is this the Corellian Collectibles
conversation on it. What
is this? The Corellian Collectibles? It
might have been. I reached out to him and said, hey, yeah, it was. I'm like, can you tell me where you got this information? Because I want to kind of share the idea behind it. So I asked him specifically, and he never responded. So to me, I'm like, some of the information I don't think was. I
think I saw
kind of like what we do
here,
right?
I think I saw him on his stream talking about it. I can't recall the specifics, but I think he said he like combed through social media posts and whatnot around the times for those products.
And I'm like, yeah, but he made some statements about that Target can't sell, they can't liquidate figures that went out to their shelves. They had to be in sealed boxes, like the sealed waves. So I believe that couldn't liquidate. They have to clearance them, but at some point, after they don't sell at clearance, they do go to a liquidation. So that
they pile them up. Correct.
Well, but it might not be those places. It might be like some other random place that accepts like a mishmash of stuff, not like complete boxes or pallets.
Well, no, I still think that like a place like Ross will pick up that stuff, you know, even ones or here and there from liquidation, because when I see that stuff coming in at Ross, I've been there at all hours. Let me tell you, I've been there at all hours. I even made a joke on a couple of my videos that I was like waking up at Ross and coming out from behind like the blankets or something like that, like I slept there. So I've seen their boxes. They don't come in a wave and then they don't put them out. They come in a big, gigantic box where it's assorted. So they get an assortment of stuff. And sometimes, yeah, they get like 6 of the same figure in there, but it's also got other stuff in there. So I don't think that the information that was being shared as part of that was 100% accurate, because he was also saying that like Amazon, the way Amazon works is their waves are of one figure. So they get a box and it's just one figure. But I don't think Hasbro, when they release a wave of an assortment of 6 figures where there's 2 duplicates, right? Then package for Amazon a box with individual figures.
I think they do sometimes do separate stuff, but in any case, like, look, I understand where you're coming from. I have no reason to believe the guy's just fibbing or whatever, but
no, I'm not saying that.
No, I know, but unless you have access to whatever like systems at Target or whatever retailer and are like privy to that knowledge, the data you're getting is just based off, oh, I found this at some Twitter post, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Saying,
but the way the information was presented was these are the facts. And if you're saying it differently, you're wrong. That's what it went through. And I was like, so I was asking questions, not getting any responses. And so in my mind is like, I don't even want to say anything. This is exactly how it works here. This is I try to preface, like when we're talking about stuff, when I'm talking about distribution, this is what I've been like told, right? So I don't work for these industries. I just know what I've been told by like customer service or whatever, like when Target like sells out on a pre-order and then they cancel your pre-order and then the figure's in store 2 weeks before you were supposed to get it shipped. And then you talk to them and they're like, yeah, well, it's because, we treat our online as its own store, but they don't get their own shipments. You know what I mean? So, and then you're in the store and they're telling you, yeah, this thing was on clearance, but now it's no longer in our system. We can sell it to you at the last clearance price. Otherwise, it's got to go into a big box where it's going to go to a liquidation center. So to tell me that figure can't be sent to liquidation because it's not in a wave is wrong. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know the details.
Yeah, I see. I want to figure out. There's a guy down here, and I've seen his videos on YouTube, and there's a place down here somewhere. I've been meaning to ask and just be like, because I want to go and I want to bid on these pallets. And he sometimes has beat out. He claims that he sees Ross and DD's and other places at this place when they auction the pallets off, and the pallets are coming from Walmart, Target, Amazon, various other warehouses that are down here in South Florida. And when he shows the pallet when it arrives at his house, and they have them park it in the garage, and then he breaks the cellophane off, and the video is him unpacking the pallet of what he won. And sometimes he's winning these pallets for $200 or $300, and other times he has to go all the way up to like 800 or 1,000. You know what I mean, to get them. And sometimes when he's unpacking these things, because he'll buy toys, electronics, he sometimes even buys clothing if he knows there's like a name brand or something big in there that he can sell for good money. But it's like when he's unpacking the pallets I've seen of toys, it seems to be completely random, but I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if that was an Amazon pallet or a Walmart or Target pallet. You know what I'm saying?
Where was that posted at, Vern?
That's part of what that guy is like saying on his Instagram, that once it goes onto a shelf, it cannot go to liquidation. That's a pretty generalized statement. And I think when you're putting out information and stuff like that, if you don't have the backup for it, you shouldn't make such a bold statement, because if you talk to the folks at Target, once it's on clearance and it hits that 0 price point, they could sell it to you for the last clearance price. Otherwise, they're going to pack that up and send it to liquidation. So then now you need to define to me what you mean by sending
By
it to
I
liquidation.
don't know.
Yeah, what's liquidation? Yeah, yeah.
And are you guys going to
Yeah.
Ollie still? Are they still receiving like products? Because
I
in this
haven't
post-
seen much, like, because I went to the one by the house when I was up there last week, and I didn't see anything new that wasn't there the last time I went, like a month and a half ago.
Oh yeah, ours is pathetic. It's still.
I mean,
it's
The
still
same.
like.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? The that Marvel set, the
The Black
Eternals
Panther
guys.
wave.
The Eternals are still sitting there.
And the
you know?
Eternals. Yep.
Yeah.
because they're also saying that like Ollie's isn't buying anything else at liquidation, right? Like so that those are
Is
like
that what's going on?
interesting. It's an interesting read for sure, right? But like I got the impression that these are the facts. And I'm like, well, where did you get your facts from? And then like I'm unwilling to share that. I mean, he didn't say that, but like when you don't respond and you're putting out information like that, you know, you gotta back up your statements a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if you don't know him. I'm like, I'd be hesitant to even look at a DM if I don't know you.
Sure, it could be that you're just ignoring somebody's messages or whatever. It's in the hidden or whatever it is. I mean, they do follow some people that I don't follow. So, but I just think it's interesting. It was an interesting read through to like think about the idea of liquidation and then to put it into perspective with what's going on with Target right now. If they really are sending a lot of things over to liquidation, then yeah, I don't see them wanting to put out much money to like purchase those things if they're having to liquidate. Those G.I. Joe 2-packs, those Mass Effect, I mean, I wouldn't even say that if they got so many of them in my store, and I see a lot of people saying we don't get a lot of the stuff you guys get. I don't see Target wanting to stock the shelves with stuff like that that's going to sit there.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Even under John's theory of we want to make sure that there's no space left on the shelves. They want turnover in their store. They want to sell product. That's their goal, right? They want to put something on the shelf that they think is going to sell. So if they keep having to liquidate these things, yeah, eventually that's what's going to happen, right? They're not going to have them anymore. So then we're all going to be collecting online.
Yeah. And well, I think there's two things. They don't want the stuff to go to clearance and liquidation, but at the same time, they also don't like seeing those shelves that are empty. And I don't know about your area, but in my area, when I walk through the toy aisle, they're basically empty aisles. And I can't imagine that if someone who's higher up, like a CEO or someone like that, if they ever do walk through a South Florida store, they're going to go, why do we even have this section if it's empty? You know, that's what I would say as a businessman. I'd be like, you either fill that section so there's product for people to buy, or we get rid of the section and fill it with grocery or something else, clothing or whatever. You know what I mean? Because empty shelves doesn't do my business any good at all.
Right, because you need to have that turnover.
Yeah, so get rid of the empty shelves, whatever you can.
Yeah. Here in Australia, we don't have Ollie's and Ross, so a lot of dead retail stock sits in major retailers for years, gathering dust. Target stores are closing. A lot of stores don't stock Star Wars now anyways. Yeah, it's crazy, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I do think someone earlier said that they wonder if it's because of the big toy stores going away, like Toys R Us and stuff. And I wonder about that too. I really think that if you had a dedicated toy store, it would do a lot better than how toys do at Walmart or Target. You know what I mean? And
because instead of running to 20 different places, we could all go to the same store again.
Well, it only works if they stop doing store exclusives, because you still have to run around to all these stores to pick up the exclusives.
To pick up the exclusive at Target or Walmart, yeah.
So if they stop doing exclusives,
you know who missed the boat on maybe trialing that out a bit more is probably GameStop. GameStop had like physical locations that they could have kind of retooled to be the like double down on the collector market, not just video games and whatever else. I mean, obviously they had some things, but
Well, I think they did try. Remember they bought.
well, they tried a little bit, but they probably. What I'm saying is they probably could have done that even more, because like warehouse level like stores or like Toys R Us, probably no chance of that succeeding again. But some like chain like the size of GameStop could have done that, but a lot of the stores are already closed.
Yeah, I mean, like GameStop is struggling anyways, right? They just been holding on because of that whole internet stock thing. I think it's what's propelling them. Did you hear this thing where you could like they had some sort of a glitch in their system where you could buy like a system in a game or whatever, and then it was giving you cash back or something like that. It was giving you more than you paid.
No,
it was some weird glitch in their little thing about their trade up program or something like allowing you to get like a bonus $50 or something like that. And they had to patch that because people were going in and buying it and then returning it with a trade. It was like a dumb thing. Like, here, I'm going to do this trade in. I'm going to buy this thing. I'm going to add a game. Then I'm going to get like this extra $100 off or $50 off. It was just, so they were getting money on top of their, I don't know, it was some weird thing. I didn't pay that much attention to it, but I mean, honestly, I haven't been in a GameStop in a long time.
Neither have I.
They do have. That's the thing. They do have toys, and they do have a good selection. It's just
they do have a good selection.
When they do. I mean, it's their store's footprint is so small. You know, like their square footage is the size of my basement, if that. I mean, they can only fit so much, and they're trying to. And I'm guessing here, but they're trying to accommodate like 100 different preferences, right? You got everything from Pokemon to Funko Pop, and you know, I mean, and trying to accumulate all that in one store and have enough stock to get people in. Oh, I'm going to go there first to check. You're going to have like 10 different figures of a release, and that's it. You know?
Yeah. And I think these like Toys R Us and stuff like that really died because of Walmart and Target.
No, they died because of the people who owned it were stealing the money.
I think the writing was on the wall there. Look, there was a Toys R Us in the same shopping center as the Target that I worked at in the 90s.
You didn't watch that documentary on it? How they destroyed it by financially ruining it?
Yeah, that's all. But like, I felt like more people were coming to Target to buy like the toys than they were going over that Toys R Us. I mean, we had a line out the door for the Power Rangers. They didn't. You know what I mean? When we had the big promotions for that type of stuff, they didn't. So I think that, you know, competition, that's what happens. Anyways, I think it's interesting to think about. I guess we'll see what happens with Target in the next year or so, how they revamp their stores and stuff like that. I'd like to see their renovations again. It seems like they've been spending a lot of money renovating stores. So for them to go in there and do more renovations this year and next year is going to be kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Or they're not going to do anything, and the whole article was just to get some headlines and get people back in their stores.
Right. That could be too. Yeah. Right.
It's all just a rope-a-dope there.
Yeah, rope-a-dope. Yeah.
Got your attention though. Got us talking about it for 40 minutes. So, you know, it did its job.
They call it a rope-a-dope.
All right, this is part of the show called Bragging Camp. If you have something you want to show off.
Oh, look at that. I just got some boxes in the mail.
Let John go first since he ran.
Well, I'm still unwrapping it. It's in bubble wrap here. Hold on.
Maybe we'll let somebody else go first since John.
Yeah, I'm still unwrapping it. Well,
Eric, you got anything?
Yeah,
Eric?
for a change, I do.
All right, well, let's let Eric go.
All
He's got his hat.
He's got to introduce it to your friend.
I got the re-release of this.
I like that.
Happy about this because, yeah, I was a dummy and didn't get this when it was on sale.
Will you?
I got the Hulk. Oh, 100%. Yeah, okay. I just haven't done it yet. Then earlier today, I also got the re-release of
Ooh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
So
it's good.
is that I got a couple more legends. It's really a pain in the butt to hold this. So there's an accessory like a tablet that came with Wasp here, but like she can't hold it really well because
The
like the
tablet?
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the giant man, the like flasks that it came with, like the left hand, it can't really hold on its own. Um, I had to have it like kind of wedged up against his body, if you see that.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
I love that.
Otherwise it would fall down.
That's
So
actually a really good set. I like that one a lot.
And yeah,
yeah. So that's the legends. I got some Black Series, and I've got some thoughts. I got the Seven Sister.
Nice. And
This is really cool.
what about the helmet? Is the helmet open?
Yeah, well, it comes off completely, but I won't do it because that little droid does not stick well on her shoulder, and that is a royal pain in the butt.
Okay.
But otherwise, the figure is real cool. It's kind of weird though. I'm not sure if you can tell, but for some of the swoosh effects, let me pick out the one that came with. I think this was Dooku, I think. So you see, like, there's an actual blade on this side, right? And then it just kind of swooshes out this way. So it like goes, the blade, the thicker part, like, goes in like straight, right?
I get what you're saying. So you can see which
these are
side
just
is like the blade.
This is like a fan. It's like you can't tell where the blade actually is.
But
So
do you think that's intentional because it's supposed to be spinning?
maybe, but I don't think it works for me. That's real nitpicky, but
Well, don't you have the option of the single blade in the thing, or did they not give it with that thing?
well, no. I do.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
came with.
because I don't use the swooshy blade parts. I just put the solid blade in.
Yeah. So I got Kyle Katarn as well. This is a cool figure. Actually, there's something really interesting about this, and if I'd be curious if anyone is able or willing to take this apart. But the chest piece here, this is like if you squeeze on it, it feels like there's barely any plastic underneath.
You know what, John?
Huh.
Like if you look at like the newer Obi-Wan Kenobis from the show, he has that shirt that's over like a body. I think it's because it's all on the same buck, and then they just created that like shirt
The mold
that goes
right.
over. Yeah,
Yeah. So on one hand, it's kind of clever if they're saving money on plastic,
right,
by like sculpting the overlay
Yeah.
to look like the body, which is like, I'm not complaining necessarily. It's just interesting, and I'd be curious to see like
What's
what is
under there?
underneath. I just don't want to.
Rip yours apart.
because he's got articulation under the shirt, right?
Yeah, it's on
Or
a ball
no?
joint. It's on a ball
So
joint.
it's just there. Okay. Yeah, I think
So-
it's fine. I think it's fine. I like the way those Kenobis were with that loose shirt. So I think overall it looks pretty good, and it's way better than when you had those first like Ben Kenobi where the and the Jedis where their upper bodies were like a solid plastic. Isn't Dooku the same with that soft overlay over the body?
Actually, I don't think. Well, it might be, but the tunic is hard, like much harder.
Okay.
The Kyle Katarn one is like soft rubber. It's like the skirt piece, but up here it's real. Sorry, it's real hard. So
that looks like a really nice looking figure. That one.
this Dooku is awesome, and I'm honestly considering getting a second because the second head sculpt is really cool. I just like the episode of Tales of the Jedi when he doesn't have the facial hair, because that's the one with young Qui-Gon.
It's better seeing this in your hands than the pictures I saw. This looks like this almost makes me want to buy him now that I've seen.
You definitely don't sleep on this. This is probably this is the best soft goods I think they've ever done.
If I
The only
was
thing
able
that
to
could
get
have
one of
made this
those,
better is what do you like wire cape.
Yeah.
would that tell me the truth? Because I mean, like, we're not in full HD, so that's what I'm looking at. If I were to take that head and like maybe paint the hair, do you think it could pass for a Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
you'd have to trim the sides of the hair a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
Dang,
You
you're
have to
right.
take a Dremel to that, but yeah, that would
Wow.
pass for Nick Cage.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I really think you could turn that into a Nick Cage.
The hairline isn't quite right, and it's a bit bushier on the sides, but yeah. But this is really good.
Yeah.
The only thing they skimped out on this, which kind of ticks me off, but at the same time, like nobody's ever going to notice this, is that they just copied his Sith lightsaber, and they didn't do the exact version of his original like Jedi lightsaber. This like hook piece is shorter, and
Yeah.
it's not quite as bent.
In the
So they
Jedi
just
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. That's the only kind of nitpick I have on this figure. Otherwise, this is perfect.
It does look like a good figure. I think I am going to pick that up.
So
Yeah, that goes
Yeah,
on
I might end up grabbing that. Yeah, that's a good. I really like seeing it in your hands in person. You know, kind of
yeah.
thing. Because the pictures, I was kind of like, I could pass on that, but now
I need a Renfield figure.
Yeah, Renfield. Yeah.
I wish I had the. I almost said Qui-Gon. I meant Quinlan Voss figure. That figure.
That one I got. Yeah, that I love Quinlan Voss. Yeah.
I'm getting that one. I think Monday or something.
That's cool. Is that everything?
Yep.
All right, Dan, did you get anything?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to show you. I opened up Chatsworth.
Ooh, nice. Check that out.
Yeah.
I like the effects on the gun, man. That looks
cool.
That thing's huge.
Yes, he's big. He's massive. Yeah. I only have one complaint. That thing that's dangling there isn't supposed to be dangling. When I put it back, I pulled him out and then I put it back in the package. When I went to go pull it, the accessory out the second time, it snapped.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, does it peg in? Or...
No, it does. There's a mold, but there's a mold, and then there was a connected part where it was like you could see that the seal, like where it was attached, wasn't quite. I don't think it cured well or something. But
are you gonna fix that yourself or reach out to the big bad folks?
I mean, the kind of plastic that is, it's the really pliable stuff, and I'm worried that it's not gonna work with crazy glue. Because have you ever tried, you know what I'm talking about? It's almost like a rubbery plastic. It's real pliable. And I've tried that before and it doesn't want to hold very well. Not like the I want to say crispier plastic, but harder plastic. Yeah. It's just very frustrating. But yeah, I'll see if I can fix it. If not, I mean, for that price point that thing was, that shouldn't have happened, you know. And his weight, and it wouldn't even bother me as much if it wasn't for the fact that he had a wobbly leg too. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I had to get him like a partial squat there. When I stand this leg up, when I stand him up, I mean, he balances really well. Don't get me wrong, but this leg is
what joint, at the knee or the hip? Or
right at the hip. If I stand him up, it's loose.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big bad workshop, so I think that they should help take care of that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not, you know. I'm not picky, and I got it to work, so I'm not mad at it. But so I got the strong guy.
Nice.
And I thought maybe I would show you a little quick comparison to the Baff, as I'm sure you guys have probably seen it already. He's been out long enough now, but the one thing that I can tell you that jumped right out at me is whatever they did or whatever they used. This guy is probably 3 times as heavy as this one.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, when I picked up the box, I was like, what is there? Did they use real weights for that barbell?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Do you think it's the weights? Because it looks
like
I
took him out. The figure is solid. I mean, you got to remember, this Baff was, you know, arm, body, head, leg, right? and the body was in like it was one of those where it was the two pieces and you clasp them together. So there's nothing inside him. Like there's nothing but in that upper chest. But this guy, whatever they did, he's waiting.
It seems like that one has better head sculpts.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the sculpt is a little better as far as detail goes. So any picture, but yeah, that one, this face, that's Guido, you know.
And I do like that they painted the white in the X player, like where the other one's just the X, right? Yeah.
Yep. And if we're going for small details, they painted the zipper too.
Yeah, I just. I mean, if I had to build a figure, I probably wouldn't buy the new one. But if I didn't have it and I had to choose between the two, the new one is the one I would choose.
I was leaning the same way you were, but Amazon was running it for
on sale,
$35.
Wow, yeah.
For that, I'll take another strong guy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, like I said, the new one looks, in my opinion, looks better, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trade up for that price. I mean, I could probably sell the BAF and get that for it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that everything, Dan?
That's it, man. That's all I got.
All right, I'll just show this off 2 years and 4 months later.
That is, I tell you what, though, that when you posted that is a sharp looking one. Maybe worth the wait, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I like the weapons on these figures. I do.
Yeah. So far,
yeah,
very solid figures. The first real Mythic Legions that I've taken a close look at. So happy with them overall. And then I have the bear, but I'm not gonna really show that one off. I think it's behind me, but I just don't want
those accessories like the swords and the axes, they're not really bendy. They looked solid.
No, they're pretty solid.
Yeah.
In the legendary warrior figure, she comes with like a hammer piece, and the little hammer head comes off the staff. So it's pretty good. And pretty much those figures are nearly identical, except for the accessories and the heads, of course. But overall, pretty good. All right. SI John had a whole stack of goodies.
So in the box was my Chuck Norris secret agent, undercover agent version of Chuck Norris.
Have you seen those videos where it's like Chuck Norris walked into a room and like they have all like the urban legends that he did all these fantastical things? It's hilarious.
Yeah. That was this Chuck Norris. He's the undercover secret agent. He worked for the FBI.
Now that dude's like a 5-inch figure, right?
With Mulder and Scully. Yeah, these are about 5 inches. Yeah.
It looks bigger than that.
Yeah, they're 5 to 6. They're somewhere in that range. Yeah. Like
open it up and put it. Like, can you open that up and put it next to a classified?
No, I'm not opening it up.
Why not?
I wanted to have one on card, and I found this for a really good deal. So this is going to be my carded one that goes in the display. So.
Open them up, take the vest off, repaint it.
Looks like it could pass for Marty McFly.
Paint him up as Marty McFly, and then
hold it up again.
The other thing
with the red vest. Yeah.
Maybe
not with the mustache, but
you could chisel that off, right? And then the other thing in the box, the other box was a roadblock from Star Brigade.
Oh wow!
And I've got my MOC Masters case to put it in. So now my eye's bugging out with the real. So I can put that right in the case. Good to go. There we go. Sealed forever.
Carded and guarded.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been collecting all the different roadblocks, so this is another one down that I needed. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were dug in. I was about to start a
movie.
movie.
No, there was just 2 boxes today in the mail. That was it.
Don't worry. We're just kidding about the McFly, John. There's no reason to cry.
I know. I don't know what my eyes bugging up. I did clean my glasses, so maybe the alcoholic wipe that I cleaned them with got in my eye somehow.
Well, you're wiping your eyes with the alcohol thing.
No, this is a tissue. What are you talking about? The alcohol thing is over here.
What you talking about, Willis?
All right, so the TV and movie news you didn't know you needed. What are you guys watching this week that you want to talk about and share with everybody?
That machine one was good. War Machine, right? Is that what
I
it
was
was
just
called?
beat me to it, man. I was just getting ready to ask if anybody was going to or had watched it.
I
I
didn't
like
even know about it.
So it's on Netflix. It's the guy who plays Reacher, and he's in the army, and it's like Ranger School, and then there's some aliens or something like that. Now,
an alien mech robot shows up, crashes.
Really thrilling synopsis there, Vern.
listen,
It's like
he's an army guy, and some aliens come in, and then there's some fighting. It's a movie.
it was a good watch. It was a good watch. Look, Gary saying he watched it, he enjoyed it. This is a little bit of a spoiler, not a major spoiler. Somebody gets their leg injured, and they do a good job of wrapping him up and like trying to like protect his leg and help him get to safety or whatever. But then to cap it off, when the medics come and move him over to a gurney, the one medic just grabs his leg and lifts him up and puts him on the gurney.
yeah, that's right.
Right where the injury is. Now,
Yeah.
It's a blink and miss it type of thing, but I thought it was kind of funny because I don't know why it is. My brain is always like finding these one little things. The one little thing that's like, did they not know that his leg was falling off?
They didn't tell that actor. We got to pretend his leg is hurt. You know what I mean? They just forgot that guy.
You put all his weight on, and it looked like a really bad injury.
Testing the patch job that they did, make sure that it was solid.
His leg was almost blown off. The hole of the leg was gigantic. You know what I mean?
Anyways, it was pretty good. I recommend it. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. I thought it was very Predator-like, but with a giant mech robot. Because they even have at the end when the big explosion, he jumps the same way that Schwarzenegger jumped as the explosion's going off. Like, there was some of those shots were scene for scene Predator.
Look,
shot for shot, whatever you call it.
Well, when I'm talking about stuff like so do you guys watch this show called Tracker?
I've seen it, but I got bored with it.
Okay,
Same thing happens in every episode, so I stopped watching it.
So this guy's job is he travels around the country and he helps people find people, right? So there's an episode where like a crime scene cleaner disappears, so he's finding the girl, and it turns out that trying to make the story a little bit shorter, the murderer kidnaps her because he thinks she's getting close. Well, when they're doing the tracking and stuff like that, he's running background checks and he realizes this guy might work at the Voorhees Rehabilitation Center. And I just think it's so funny that that's the name of the rehabilitation center, right? Because Friday the 13th, whatever. But I'm like, they always try to hide little things in the episodes. But I thought it would have been better after watching that episode, because he had like his parent like in like a preserved state in the show. They should have had more of a reference to like Psycho than Friday the 13th to me. But
okay.
All right. Anyways, Eric's not impressed. He's like, whatever.
Not impressed.
Are you guys watching Starfleet Academy?
Nah.
Well, it's only had 2 good episodes the whole season so far.
Did you watch the finale?
Is there a last one? Okay.
Yeah. So the last episode, the 300th night, is the season finale. And it was actually directed by Jonathan Frakes. And it doesn't actually take place at the Academy. So it would probably fall into John's category of they only had like 2 interesting episodes.
Yeah, I feel like I must have watched it, but it's not. All these episodes.
It just came out. It just came out this week. So they go to a planet in a system that's getting ready to be taken over by the whatever the evil dudes group is. and the guy's looking for his mom, and he finds his mom on the planet.
Oh, okay.
So,
No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. I like when they go on location, but watching that episode made me think of that show, The Rookie, and maybe what they should have done with this series is they should have like maybe did Star Trek The Ensign or something, and it could like follow like a group of new recruits, like new ensigns, recently graduated academy people who are now deployed to like their first ship or something like that. And it follows like their kind of like inauguration, and then all of a sudden they're just in the thick of it, kind of like, you know, like the way The Rookie would be, where it's like their post Starfleet Academy training type thing. I wonder if that would have been a more interesting show because it actually takes place in space.
Yeah.
Rather than the 90210 shows that they had.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't care about is I'm like, I don't give a crap about your relationships and who's sleeping with who and what's going on with. I was like, this is not it's supposed to be one of those teenage dramas like you said, 90210 or whatever. It's supposed to be in space with spaceships and Star Trek. Like, that's why I think there's only been 2 good episodes, because there's only been 2 episodes where they actually.
Well, yeah, I might mark that up to 3 now.
Like,
the laser tag episode was just made no sense to me. Yeah, they had like an episode where they were playing laser tag or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like
for Star Trek.
In the new Star Trek.
Sounds fun.
Terrible.
Because like
was it a training exercise or was it
training?
Like,
so it was.
Oh, okay.
It was
You made it sound like they're going to some like teenager laser tag place.
It was a rivalry
between.
So it was a rivalry between the 2 colleges. So prior to them restarting the Starfleet Academy, they had a thing called the War College. So they were just training people how to fight a war because they've been in this like war for a really long time. So then they decided to relaunch Starfleet Academy, but they didn't get rid of the War College. So you either pick Starfleet Academy or the War College type of thing. And so the 2 groups of students were like, you know, all right, you have to watch
Anyone watching Monarch?
I have watched both episodes so far.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think I've seen a show do a better job of intercutting flashbacks.
I do like the back and forth of the flashbacks.
They do a really good job with flashbacks in general.
And I like that so much.
Go ahead.
I wish that Kurt Russell would have said a line from Escape from LA when he was in that boat. So, and hit that tube on the ocean. That would have been really
LA too, not New York, because it was way campier.
Well, Escape from LA is when he meets up with Fonda, and then the guy is getting ready to go surfing. Remember when they surf?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That scene was.
They weren't really surfing.
Monarch.
No, I think season 2 is way better than season 1, and I thought season 1 was pretty good by the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the season play out. I also just started watching the 2nd season of Ted on Peacock.
See,
I got bored with the Invaders. I got bored with the Invaders partway through season 2 because I'm sick of them not showing any aliens.
I just saw an advertisement for a spin-off of The Handmaid's Tale that's supposed to hit Hulu pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
Why?
If you guys watched the other one.
Nope.
I have not watched it. I want to, but I just haven't done it.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a prequel or something like that. All right. Anyways, this is the Hot or Not section. The toys revealed that you didn't know you needed. Let's take a look.
Prequel for 2028?
What?
Nothing.
Are you interested in this?
Ancient spirits of evil.
These are like Super 7's Ultimates, I think.
Yeah, right.
So some of their stuff is actually pretty cool, but I'm like, are you going to get invested in this? And then they just decide to cancel the line because they're not doing anything. Like like you're never going to get to finish those Dungeons and Dragons figure, right?
Yeah,
so you got Hank and Sheila and like a skeleton warrior. So are you going to get these? And is that those are wings? So I'd like to see how those wings are, you know, factor in.
This is a really weird character to make, but it's something they've never done before.
Well, that's probably the appeal to it.
Yeah, but you think, do they have all the main characters already, though?
No, that's, I think, the problem, right? Love the Thundercats, but yes, the Ultimates are too expensive unless you find them at Ross. Now, this character, though, to me, I might be interested in because it's like mummy related, right? Like I feel like.
Well, I think isn't that Mum Ra before he turned into Mum Ra?
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm saying because of the outfit and stuff like that, I could throw it in there with like my
more generic
mummy figures or something like that.
Yeah.
Play like a back.
I do have to say though, I think they feel well. I don't know if these are the same. I think Chris sent me the Snake Eyes Super 7 like ultimate figure that was from the cartoon, and it came with the dog and all the accessories from that cartoon episode. And I opened it up and put it on the shelf, and I think the plastic feels weird. Like
on the Ultimates?
Yeah, it just feels weird. Like it's like I don't mind it sitting on the shelf, but every time I pick it up, I go, "Oh, what the hell am I picking up here? This is weird." You know what I mean? It's just like this feeling of just like, I got to put this down. I can't.
Well, there's a high-end collectible.
Like it doesn't feel like toy plastic. It just feels.
That's because it's a high-end collectible, John.
I guess so. Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But I have it up on the shelf. It's sitting there. But every time I go to move it or do something, I always look like, whoa, this is weird. Right. I don't remember who this character is.
I don't either. I thought that was a Power Rangers for a minute.
I was going to say it. I was going to say it looks like a pastel version of Rita Repulsa.
She's got
except for I see the Thundercats sword right there, right? Yeah. So. All right. What about Hayato's Godzilla creature?
Wow.
60 pixels a pass. Sir Green's definitely getting the 8 appendages. It's an immediate buy. No big Godzilla fans here. You guys were just talking about Legacy of Monsters.
John is.
Yeah, I like the Godzilla.
How about SH Monster Arts Godzilla, John?
It's cool looking. That's from Godzilla -1, isn't it?
Probably.
Or is that the new one from Zero?
Is that going to be in your collection?
No, I would love it, but aren't they too expensive? I think they're
probably. Okay. Metal Gear, Rebel Tech.
Is that Solid Snake or whatever his name is?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of Rebel Tech figures, and I'm like, they're okay, but they're not like, to me, like because of the price point. Like if they were half, you know what I mean? They're not at SH Figure Arts in my mind.
Yeah, they're not Revoltech. They're Revolt
Tech.
That's what I thought. Revoltech. You know, yeah.
What did I say? Revoltech.
Tech.
Like they're revolting. You know,
they're revolting tech.
So you're gonna pronounce the T twice?
No, just Revoltech.
Revoltech.
Revoltech. I'm with Dan.
Well, I said Revoltech. Is that not right?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's right. Or is it just you say it however you want to say it? You know?
And John wants to be Revoltech?
Revoltech, yeah.
Revoltech.
Emotep.
All right. Well, however you pronounce it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right. Here's some better pictures of that Scare Glow.
I hope he glows in the dark. That would be awesome.
Well, I think if anything glows in the dark, it's going to be that little headdress piece, right?
Yeah, the headdress at least. That would be cool. Yeah.
That should definitely glow in the dark, but I you're right. The thing is, I don't think it will.
Yeah.
For some reason. No, why do you think one of his hands looks like he's giving the thumbs up?
I don't know, because he's probably like
for that blade.
He's just like, yeah, Skeletor sucks.
All right, and then another Revoltech. Revolt.
Is it Ninja Gaiden?
Looks like
Revoltech.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden.
Is it Gaiden or Gaiden? Is it Ninja Gaiden or Ninja Gaiden?
Is it Ninja Gaiden?
Jaden, come on.
Ninja Jaden? Is that what you said?
Now the promo picture looks way different to me than this.
Yeah, it does. Yes.
Picture, right?
It does. It does.
And I think that like triple thing adds something to it, and maybe even the background, because in that picture I'm like, oh, that looks cool. But I see this other picture, I'm like, oh no, I don't like the way
cool.
Yeah, let's see. So we got other. So is it Mayfex or Mafex? Is it potato or potatu?
Potato, whatever they say. Tomato.
Where does it?
It's Mafe. The X is like silent.
It's silent, yeah.
It's Mafe.
Yeah. It's a high-end collectible. It's a Mafe.
So Storm Collectibles, Street Fighter, Bison.
And Bison, the crazy version, yeah.
Does anybody have any of these Storm collectible figures?
Negative.
No.
Yeah. Curious about them.
They look beefy.
The interesting thing is I'm looking at the arm and I'm like, where is the peg or the joint?
I was going to say, the arm's right there.
I was trying to think more like, where is his elbow?
That's what I'm saying. Where is the flex point in the elbow? Because there's a lot of detail hiding like that flex point.
Well, do these have that skin over a metal skeleton, or is it really a pin? Is it a pinned ball joint system?
No, because you can see right under the arm, you can see the split in the body.
Yeah, I was going to say, you see the chest and the thighs.
That too. Wow.
But it might be on like some system where like the forearm like kind of can cover part of like over the elbow.
Yeah, kind of like the way the Black Series does the legs.
Yeah, maybe
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, how would he even be in that pose? There's no way.
I can barely get in that pose.
Yeah, look at
the chest. You'd have to have the like crushable like ribs like the Maximum Series Hulk, right?
I don't know. I wonder if that's
because the chest would get in the way.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder. Then is this like a render?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I do collect Storm collectibles.
Or is this a thing where the arms are just molded that way? You know what I mean? And they don't have an elbow joint.
I should watch a review on the Storm.
Maybe they just don't have an elbow joint.
Yeah, it's possible.
Maybe.
I don't know. All right. That's all.
Okay.
Did you guys see anything else this week that was interesting? Because I looked around last night and I was
trailer
putting stuff together, and I didn't really see anything like jump out at me as like being like new.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So, media wise, there's the Green Lantern trailer, but toy wise, there was the wave of 4 figures from the Mall series.
Okay, I put those on the thumbnail, but were those previously announced?
No.
Oh, okay.
They just announced those out of the blue.
They did the TVC versions first, and now these are Black Series versions.
Not for the Twi'lek, though.
Yeah, the Twi'lek's new. You're right. Yes.
All right. Well, they did look pretty good. I didn't pre-order any of them just because I don't feel like.
Oh, I got that Evil Jedi, the new Inquisitor guy, because he looks freaking badass.
The one that Ahsoka took down in Tales of the Jedi.
The Maul.
That's
I'm
the
just
same guy that from Maul that she kills. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just open the last Maul I bought, and I'm gonna put one of those acolyte capes on it, and hope that will just suffice.
See, my biggest beef with the repack of Maul with soft goods is that if they're going to do that, fine. Just like at least do like a different head sculpt.
Right.
Do something
different. The red is different.
I mean, the only thing they did different is the soft goods. That's it.
Let me ask you a question.
Is slightly different. The red is different.
Do you think that it would dazzle everybody more to get a spider body Maul?
Yeah, it would have. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
That would be a good made to order type
I got the little spider body Maul that came with the kid set, you know?
Yeah, I think that would be, I mean,
that would kill my display, but I'd totally find a place for it.
So Krennic originally came out with Rogue One, then they did the updated Krennic, kind of whatever, and then now they have a new Krennic. And I think that like it's crazy because today when I was at Ross, there were like 8 Krennics. You know what I mean? Like the previous to the current one. So all I got to do is wait for that Andor one, because that one should be showing up anytime.
True. Yeah.
Once Target's done leaving it on the shelf, because that's where he's hanging right now. He's waiting to get over to Ross. All right.
And this Maul will probably end up at a clearance place because he's kind of a reissue.
I feel like this new price point's kind of hurting stuff a little bit too.
It
like,
does,
yeah.
I would have bought more of most of the lines. I would have bought more of if the price wasn't so high. But.
Now, here's the crazy part, like that I always think about, because I think about like how gas goes, right? Like, I don't know who's in California, like in the chat or whatever, but like at one point back in 2006-ish, 7, gas got to be somewhere around $5 a gallon. I think it busted $5 a gallon at that time.
Yeah.
Which makes me happy to spend $3.85 a gallon. Right? But prior to that, gas, I remember, would be under $3. It would be like $2.
When it was $2 a gallon, you would never.
I remember thinking like, "Oh, I can't believe we're paying $2.75 a gallon." But once it got up to like almost 5 something, and then dropped back down to like $3.80, it was like, "Oh, what a relief!" It's $3.80, and then you get acclimated to $3.80, and then now, because of everything that's going on, I've been paying like $3.89, $3.99 going on.
You're like $1 more than us.
Yeah, now today it's $4.59.
Holy crap!
Right, so I'm sure it's going to get over $5 in the next couple of weeks.
And why is it more in California than it is in Florida? How much is gas near you, Eric and Dan? It's like $2.79. Like the last, I got gas like it was. Granted, it was probably 2 days ago, and it was like $2.79 a gallon.
$3.49 at Costco. $3.89 premium.
Let me see what they say in my.
The problem is that you guys don't live in a state where we have to have a summer blend and a winter blend and a feel-good blend of like gas. So the refineries go offline, blah, blah. They got to make the feel-good blend for February. Then they got to make the time change blend. Then there's going to be the nice markup for your summer blend. You know, it's like a flight, getting a flight of beers out here. But the thing is, when gas prices end up going back down, I think they're gonna, in my mind, I feel like they're gonna settle about $4 and like $4.39, and everybody's going to be fine with $4.39. So right now, say a Black Series, a GI Joe is $27.99. Are you going to feel the relief and be okay when it then goes back to $24.99, let's say, right? And go, oh, finally back to a normal price. When I remember like a year ago, we were like, can't believe they're marking that up from $19.99 to $25.
Well, I'll still probably only get the one or two that I normally get. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
unless it went back down to around $20, I wouldn't end up getting multiples of like I was before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just weird to me that like they push the price so high that then when it comes down, you're okay with a higher price you were paying before.
Yeah. I get your logic. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So I feel like what they could have done is they could have just pushed the base price up to $29.99 and then like, oh, okay, we're going to offer some relief because we're not selling as much, and then dropped it to $27.99. You know what I mean? Like trick everybody into like
trick people into like, oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, Kat,
anyway,
what are you doing?
All right. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
The other funny thing about this is just that, like, no matter what gas prices are, you just go get the gas. Like, you complain about it, but you're like, I've got to get to work. I've got to do my stuff, so I just have to buy it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you got no choice. Yeah.
And I think it does go back down because gas is one of those things that does have a lot of extreme. I don't know about where you guys live, but you turn left or right out of my place and go down to the next intersection, there's 4 gas stations. Every corner is a gas station. So they're competing with each other. If they don't come down to the same price, if one goes down to $2.79, everyone will go to that gas station, even if the others are like $2.81. The 3 cents will make everybody go to that one. You know what I mean?
Before
so they gotta stay.
What they do here is if you go to a gas station, like there's a AM PM on the corner, they have reasonable price there. Costco's like reasonable. But if I go down to this Chevron down the street this way, it's right off the freeway entrance. Their gas is like $1.75 more than everybody else's.
That's true too. Yeah, the one if you go over there and go by the freeway, that one gas station is always a little bit more, just because people are getting off the freeway. Yeah, you're right.
All right. Anyways, we're done talking about toys. Obviously, if we're talking about gas. Anyways, have a good weekend, everybody. The Toy Duo team will be back next week talking about action figures and more. Roll the music.
Yeah.
Hold tight. When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back. Just relax and watch you listen. The Toy Duo team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle.
I love it when a plan comes together. What?
On your